right. Hello, everyone. I think I have everything set up. Let me get things straightened out. Okay, there we go. All right. Hello, everyone. I hope that you are all having an awesome Saturday, whether it is morning or afternoon or evening for you, depending on where you live. And thank you for joining us for our first exclusive supporter-only live stream of 2022. Happy to have all of you here. Okay. So today what I would like to do is talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Because we are going to be starting a live streamed campaign here in like a week. And I need help with my character because I have this character built, but I don't know how to like get the vibes of it. And I figured that that might be something that you all can help me with, is vibes. And also what like voice I'm gonna use for her. I don't know how to do these things. So hopefully that is something that you all can help with. So a little bit of background information on this stream. The D&D stream, not this stream that you're all currently watching. So it is in the description if you want to check out the links that I have. But basically, we are going to be playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition over on Jcorn TV over on Twitch. So Jay is the Dungeon Master, and he has invited on several streamers and content creators to do a little campaign that we will be live streaming. So who is involved? Me, Star or Starfish Face, who is a VTuber and digital artist. She's great. Ron of Megaron TV, who is not only a streamer in his own right, but also a mod of this channel, because he's just wonderful, great human being. Who else? Jinx, who is also a streamer, and the person who needs no introduction, Mildred from Thought Slime, will also be joining us in this D&D campaign. So it's going to take place on the last Friday of every month from about 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. They're going to be about 2-hour sessions, but then directly afterward we're going to have what are we calling it? Table talks? Basically where we chat about the game and talk about like how it went, and you know, if any of you have any sort of questions. And oh yes, Jay is here in chat. Hello. You can tell me if I'm getting any of this wrong. But we're gonna have table talks after the fact, and we can answer any questions that you all have. Just sort of hang out, decompress from the session. So I hope that you're all excited. I'm very excited. This will not be my first streamed roleplay experience, but it will be the first that is not just a one-shot. So that's exciting. And even more exciting is this character that I have. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take my headphones off because I can't hear myself think with the music, but I know that you all like the music. So I will leave it playing. Okay. See, these are the like... My brain gets so easily distracted that I can't have music in my ears and talk at the same time. Okay. Let me bring you all over to the other monitor. Aha! Okay. So over here, you can see the character sheet that I have for this character. Her name is Tim Tam, or Tim for short, and she is a gnome artificer. Those are the like hard details that we have here. But her story. Let me read you this backstory that I have here. Tim Tam Butterball was born and raised in a mysterious magical clock tower nestled in the foothills of the Grey Peak Mountains just outside the city of Loudwater. Her parents, Ada and Julius, were avid inventors and plied their trade in the nearby city, and it was through their magical engineering that they created the clock tower that was their home. Tim's childhood was chaotic, since her parents often worked long hours in their workshop or went on trips for days, sometimes even weeks at a time. While they sometimes took Tim with them on shorter trips, where she was told to keep quiet and stay out from under the grown-ups' feet, most of their travels were just the two parents, and Tim was left at home. When she was given free rein of the tower and surrounding woods, she spent her time maintaining the house, tinkering, playing pretend, and telling fantastical, made-up stories to her friends. Toads, cool-looking rocks, and her dolls. Because of her sheltered life, she didn't really have any real friends. But even though her parents weren't always around, they always gave Tim instructions for how to keep the clock tower running, which she was very good at, and they always came back. Until one summer day, just after Tim's 20th birthday, her parents left, as usual without telling her much of anything about where they were going, and they never returned. Tim waited, did her usual rounds of cleaning, playing, and tinkering for a few days, which then turned into weeks, which then turned into months. Eventually, Tim realized that she was probably going to be alone for a while, and she bunkered down for the winter, turning her clock tower into a fort. While she waited for her parents to come home, she invented a few gadgets that helped her with chores. She created clay and paint friends to keep her company. She couldn't shake the weight of her parents' absence, and she often wondered what she had done wrong, why her parents didn't love her enough to come back. She turned that worry into passion, fueling her growth as an inventor, and as the months bled into years, Tim had made the interior of the clock tower almost unrecognizable. What was once a clean, sterile, steam-powered machine was now a bright, whimsical, crowded castle of creation and imagination. But while Tim blossomed into a great young creator, the tower weakened. And one day, after nearly 12 years of solitude in the artistic laboratory she called home, the tower stopped. After foraging in the wood for materials, Tim came back to the tower, opened the door, and her home was gone. The entire interior was made of simple, dark stone blocks, and there was no trace of the rooms Tim had spent so long decorating and populating with inventions. There were a few of her belongings scattered haphazardly on the floor of the now mundane tower, and she gathered them up, stuffing them into her bag, and wept. All that she had created was gone. The home she had shared with her parents, the one part of them she had left, was gone. After a while, Tim picked herself up and got to work. She rushed down to the boiler room that housed the arcane motor that powered the tower, and found it still in working condition. Then she rushed up the stone step spiral staircase to check the clock mechanisms, and they were also in working condition. Whatever had happened to the clock tower was something she didn't know how to fix. Packing what few supplies she had, including some of her tinkering components and a few trinkets and toys, Tim closed the door of the broken clock tower and set off toward the town of Loudwater, hoping to find a solution in the great, wide world outside. So that's Tim. Little bit of some struggles, you might say. She is so cute. I am so excited for this. She is wonderful. She's so good. So, I have this character. A little bit of a tragic backstory, but like she's made the best of it. You know, she's doing okay. And we have this setting. So basically where the campaign is starting is we're all going to be in the town of Loudwater. There's a train involved and some kind of mystery. I've been told to think of it as like Murder on the Orient Express type situation, but that's really all the information I have. Yes, Jay, don't hint at things in the chat. That is not fair. But that's the situation. So she's going into this town as somebody who has never really interacted with the outside world very much, and she's an inventor, and she does magic with her intelligence. So now the question is, how do I actually play a character like this? Because one of the things about her, if we go back to her character sheet. So for those of you unfamiliar, 10 is like average for skills. So she's a little stronger than average, much more dexterous than average, not very wise because she doesn't know a lot about the world as far as like, you know, she knows facts, but she doesn't have like street smarts. But her charisma is a 4 out of a possible score of 20, which means she is very uncharismatic. Now, the way that a lot of people play uncharismatic characters is that they're just like assholes, or irritating. But like, I don't want to be irritating because that's annoying. So I've been trying to think of a way that we can, I say we, like that I, the person playing the character, can play this accurately and roleplay the stats that I have been given and not make it irritating. So we have this little gnome girl. She is going out into the world for the first time, doesn't really know how to interact with people, is kind of a nerd, has a lot of like imaginary friends that she talks to. She has a lot of toys that she talks to. For instance, she has a little mechanical puppy named Pups McGee. Pups McGee is her best friend. And so a lot of like toy stuff and like arts and crafts. That's the flavor of her artificer tinkering. So what do I do with this? And I don't know the answer to that. I think the first thing, I don't know. I need to come up with like mannerisms and stuff like that. I also need a voice. And now I'm not very good at voices, so we'll see how that goes. But I think you all are going to be my judges here and help me figure out what works and what is too annoying. So there was something else that I was going to add. So for her low charisma score, what I was thinking is that it could be that she could just be awkward, but it's hard to do awkward without being irritating. She could also just like not interact with people. Like if somebody asks her a question, she just kind of freezes, like deer in the headlights kind of thing. But I also like, because she is going to have to talk to people. Like she's gonna have to talk because this is Dungeons and Dragons. Like if I am not talking as a character, then what is the point? And so I don't know how much I could do that. Ooh, Connor says, trying to be helpful but always making things worse could be a fun way to roleplay low charisma without just being a jerk. That's a good idea. Oh, and speaking quietly or in an obscure or unclear way might play into high intelligence and low charisma. That's also... Oh my gosh, you guys have such good recommendations. I was thinking, Radovan, the no filter thing, I was thinking about that. I think that that's a great idea. So like she doesn't have those interpersonal skills to know like what to say and what not to say. I'm also thinking, yeah, Cyril, asking a lot of off-putting questions that she doesn't realize are inappropriate. Oh gosh. And this is so against like me. As a human being, I am always so like careful with my words that this is going to be hard for me. And it's going to make me uncomfortable, but like in a good way, like in a out of my comfort zone kind of way. Oh gosh. Now I'm scared of this in a good way. Maybe excited is a better word than scared. But, so for instance, like it's so hard to play like being socially oblivious while also being intelligent. 'Cause like, it's not like she a good example for this kind of conundrum that I'm having is, you know, in Sherlock or Doctor Who recently, think like Matt Smith era Doctor Who or all of Sherlock, where they're like these incredibly intelligent people, but they just do like socially unintelligent things, and it's like you have lived in this world, you like know like you know not to go to Christmas dinner naked, Doctor. Like you're aware of what Christmas is because you've studied Earth and you know our customs. And so I think trying to avoid that, where like she is intelligent, so she's not gonna just do like it's just so hard to balance those two things. Okay, let's see. Thor says, kind of getting a vibe that her interpersonal skills are similar to a 3 or 4-year-old. Yeah. So gnomes, the way gnomes age in this lore, is she's about in her early 30s, which equates to being like late teens in like human years. Ooh, Jay asks a good question. What would she do when she finds out that most of her party members are younger than her but more mature? I think that's a good question. I don't know if, because mature is such an interesting word. Because I don't think that she's necessarily, like, she's immature in that she likes playing a lot. Like, she has a lot of, you know, childlike mannerisms and interests. But not immature in, like, you know, like potty humor type immature. Like, I don't think that that's the direction that would go in. So yeah, I think in playing off of gnomes, and what I know about gnomes is that they are just kind of excited by everything in the world. Like, gnomes just naturally have a lot of these, you know, childlike sense of wonder type ideas. So I think that really leaning into that and really being like, what's this from The Nightmare Before Christmas? Like, that sort of thing. Like, oh my gosh, I'm in this whole world. There's all this stuff. I am overwhelmed by this. I didn't know there was this much stuff in the world and I don't know what to do with it. So, like, she might know what things are because she's intelligent, but she doesn't necessarily, like, she hasn't actually gotten her hands on them yet. Like, she knows about all this stuff in theory, but in practice it's still very new. Okay, let's see. Maybe she just expects everyone else to be as intelligent as she is. Ooh, and assumes that everyone else knows everything that she does. That is a great idea. Because she's really, like, the only people that she spent any significant amount of time with are her parents, who are just as smart as she is. Like, that's where she gets all of this, is because she was raised, like, in a laboratory, basically. So yeah, she just doesn't have, oh gosh, she doesn't know how to interact with people who don't have the same information and, you know, intelligence that she does. That's a great idea. Yeah, maybe she's not socially mature. Yeah. Would she recognize the maturity of the other members in the same way they do? That's a great question that I never really thought about. Like, how much does she know about other people's personalities? Because, like, her parents were also gnomes, but they were a little bit more uptight. Like, they were fun. Like, they weren't, you know, the shittiest of parents, but they were very much, like, focused on their work and not focused on being a parent to Tim. So I think that she doesn't really know sort of the average maturity levels of most of like what people just are like. Jay said, when I was younger, I was overeager to help. Ooh. And this sometimes led me to interrupt people or took actions unilaterally. Yeah. And in this case, maybe she got frustrated when people don't follow her string of thoughts. Yeah. So it's like she's thinking and acting and talking so quickly because she's just so smart that her brain automatically like does all of this, like makes all these connections and stuff. But she expects people to sort of like keep up with her, and they don't. But also, maybe to combat that, or not to combat that, but like, because she gets frustrated that people don't follow her thoughts, maybe she just like does stuff herself. So she's bossy? Is she bossy? Is Tim bossy? Okay, I think what we're gonna do is actually go over here and maybe type out some traits. She's bossy. We got that. Okay. Because, like, she knows best, and she doesn't have the wisdom or charisma to know how not to be a know-it-all. Okay. So then the question is, like, how do I have her be this, I mean, for lack of a better word, bossy person without being too annoying? And I think part of what that comes down to is her voice, which I'm terrified of. I don't know how to do voices. And anytime that I've like tried to think of a good voice for her, it ends up just sounding like a child, like I'm just doing a child voice. And like, she's not a child, like she's in her mid-30s, like she's smart, like she knows how to use words. She's just not very good at like relationships or social interaction. And so it's hard to not like fall into that. Let's see, Jay says something like that, like she can't understand that she's so much smarter than most folks, or that she understands things quicker and so she doesn't have a lot of patience. Oh, impatient. Oh gosh, she's bosh. She sounds awful. I swear I want her to be like cute and nice, but she just doesn't know how to do it. She just doesn't know how to make friends, and all she wants is to make friends with people. That's literally all she wants. I mean, other than the whole clock tower thing. There's the clock tower thing, and then the power of friendship. That's Tim's whole thing. Okay. So, we have this gnome girl. So we have these traits. I think maybe also like, one of the things that I was thinking is that she's like innocent or naive, maybe. That's how you spell naive. For instance, to give you an idea of what sort of like an example of that is, one of the things that Jay asked us to think about is how our characters got their train tickets to get on this train that is going to be the thing for this story. And I was thinking, like, she probably doesn't have a ton of money because she's never like had to go to a store and buy things. Like, her parents have always done that. So she probably just like doesn't have money on her, even though her parents were pretty wealthy. And I don't know that she would even like know that she needs a ticket. And so I was thinking, like, what if she tried to get on the train and the conductor or ticket taker yelled at her and was like, you don't have a ticket, you need a ticket to ride the train. And she was like, okay, like, why do I need a ticket? And he tells her why she needs a ticket. And she's like, okay, I'll go get one. And she leaves and makes herself a ticket, like forges a ticket. So when she shows up with this other party of adventurers and they all have their actual literal train tickets, she's just gonna pull a piece of paper out of her pocket that she colored on. And like, I mean, it's gonna look nice. It's not, you know, like scribbles, but because she's very good at arts and crafts, and so she just arts and crafts her way into having a train ticket, as you do. Okay, let's catch up with chat. She can interrupt people and therefore be annoying without realizing. Yeah. Yeah, makes assumptions that the people around her understand what she understands, which could lead to funny things happening in combat. Yeah. Suddenly a cat. She doesn't make friends, she meets people and then makes a robotic 12-step plan on how to befriend them. That is a great idea. Oh. That's hilarious and also... So I think that most characters that people play in role-playing games have at least a little bit of the player in them. And Tim definitely has a lot of like my childhood in her story, in that I grew up in the middle of nowhere without a lot of friends and spent a lot of time by myself. And so I also am like have no idea how to make friends and do things like that. So, and that was not intentional. Like, it wasn't like, I'm gonna build Tim to work through childhood trauma. It happened that way. But that being said, that is actually something that I did as a child. Was, now I thought that this was a normal thing, but I guess it was not. Where I would like make lists of my friends or like my acquaintances in class. It was like, here are all the girls in my class. Because as a 8-year-old, I didn't have friends who were boys. Boys are gross. So here are all the girls in my class, and I would like, this sounds awful. I would like rate them for how strong I thought our friendship was. And be like, okay, these are the people that are like the best friends, and these are the people who are the normal friends, and these are the people that I don't really care about. So I was very like analytical in that kind of thing. And so I wonder maybe if Tim does some of that as well, where she sort of, you know, I mean, like you said, Radovan, like she's like a robot. Yeah, cut to Tim drawing out a really pretty word bubble diagram of how she plans to pursue her friendships. I mean, but like, if you want to have friends, if that's one of your big goals, and you don't know how to do it, but you're very smart, maybe you're like you can smart your way into it, you know? Okay. Someone with a very loud motorcycle outside. So she's bossy, and she's impatient, and she's a little bit naive. What is a word for this? I'm sorry, Des, you have to go. For this, this like robotic, sort of like over analytical. Is that a good word? I don't know, but we'll know what it means. She's also very imaginative. That is sort of the core of her magic that she has, is it's powered by, or like fueled by the power of imagination. So she's very imaginative, and I wonder if that can also help play into like her personality outside of when she's casting spells. So maybe I don't know, because again, like, she's not unintelligent. So it's not like she would... I think it's less like, you know, she believes in things that are, like, very obviously not true. Like that kind of imagination. I think of it as more like, I don't know, like believing in yourself kind of imagination. Like, you know, if people are worried about something, then she's always going to bring up the, like, you know, yeah, this worst possible thing could happen, but also the best possible thing could happen. You know? Like, you need to hold on to these dreams, because by holding on to them, that's how you make them become a reality. I think that might be how that works. Okay. I think that we need a voice. And I'm so terrified of voices, because I'm not good at them. So a voice needs to be not irritating, not like baby talk, and also something that is easily replicable. Because, you know, if I can do like an Irish accent one day, that doesn't necessarily mean I can do it the next day, because it just leaves my brain. I never remember how to do it. How normal teen is she? Like, does she keep posters of her favorite rock star inventors? I think she's normal teen in that she has, like, hyper focuses. So you know how sometimes Gnomish Avril Lavigne, if you have a Gnome Avril Lavigne in your world, I will gladly have Tim be a fan. I think she has favorite authors, like authors of fantasy books, I would say. But also she has favorite, like, avenues. Like if you were, you know, the Egyptology kid, or if you were the I don't know, like Titanic kid, you know, all these, or a horse girl. People have their things as kids. I was into frogs and Pokemon. What else? I don't know, just like magic stuff is what I was into as a kid. I was never, like, you know, into sort of historical things. Okay, so for a voice, I was thinking, do you all remember in the pun video when I'm doing the Mr. Pun bit? I don't know if you all remember that. Let me actually pull that up. Okay. I'm gonna put my headphones on to make sure that this isn't too loud. Okay. All right. Of Mr. Pun. Mr. Pun was a bitter old man. He was so bitter because while all his neighbors were funny, fun-loving people, Mr. Pun was cursed with the inability to tell a joke. This curse brought a lot of pain into Mr. Pun's life, and eventually he was consumed by it and saw no outlet except to force that pain upon the lives of everyone else around him. Mr. Pun made it his life's work to root out all the fun, so see how I'm doing this voice in the world and corrupt it. He made a mockery of jokes. Whenever he heard someone about to tell a joke, he would rudely jump into the conversation and shout out some nonsense sentence about some unrelated homophone, totally derailing the entire conversation, all because he simply wasn't born with the finesse,
timing and ability to read people that one requires to be a comedian. He started by preying on children. He would go up to their homes, knock twice, and if a child answered the door, he would begin indoctrinating them into his school of comedy. Their simple, innocent minds were no match for the silly gibberish that made up Mr. Pun's attempts at humor. This, of course, was where the modern scourge known as knock-knock jokes was born. Where jokes brought people together, Mr. Pun drove them apart. His corruption of humor, called puns, even caused people pain. And that's why, even today, the most common reaction to a pun is a groan.
So I'm thinking something like that voice. Where it's, you know, kind of like this. And I'm talking like I'm trying to be like Ash Ketchum. Oh my gosh, is she gonna be Ash Ketchum? No. Let's get Ash Ketchum out of the brain. But that kind of voice, I think, is the direction that I want to go because it's easy. You know, it's something that I can do consistently. And it has that like cutesy without being like a high-pitched irritating thing, because that's annoying. Okay, you all seem positive about that. That it makes me so happy that it's I have been so worried about this for like weeks because I'm so bad at voices and I so desperately don't want to be annoying, because if people are like if a fifth of the party is voiced in a really irritating way, you're not going to want to watch. Okay. And so this is the voice that I'm going to do, so maybe I need to practice. My name is Tim. I feel like I'm channeling Ash Ketchum, which isn't necessarily bad, you know. Maybe she can sound like Ash Ketchum. Ash Ketchum? Question mark? I don't know. Yeah, it just sounds like an 11-year-old boy kind of voice. All right. I feel like it could be mildly condescending, which kind of works for the character. Ooh. Okay, so if we're gonna do this, then we need to do this other thing. And I am trying to like think of a scenario that I could be condescending in. You mean you don't know what that is? That gets like, it's so hard to make the voice stay the same consistently. I don't know how people do this. On a journey to catch all the constructs. Yes. Oh no. I mean, so Jay knows that I have plans for this character later on. And things about what she's gonna do and she's just gonna become Ash Ketchum. Do I want to lean into that? No, I shouldn't do that. That would add a whole too much to her character. Okay. All right. I think that voice, I'll have to practice it some more, but now that I know that this voice works and this is something that I can do and have done, and like I can go back and watch that video and like hear myself doing it to really like, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like emphasize it, make it stick in the brain. That'll be good. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, you have been writing the arc. Oh, okay, so Connor asks, what does she say when she's frustrated? Someone who says fiddlesticks is very different from someone who says damn it. Okay. That is actually something that I had been thinking about, because I don't want to go too like silly with the expletives. Like, I don't want it to be fiddlesticks, etc. Because I was thinking, you know what kids do when they're by themselves and they don't have parents around? They experiment with swear words. The first time you say the F word is probably like in your room in a whisper voice by yourself. Or maybe not. Maybe that's just a me thing. And so I think that she definitely has some of that sort of like wild child energy, because she's been alone for so long and because she's been without, parental oversight for so long. And so I think she probably doesn't have a filter. But yeah, Thor, would she have made up her own swears? Yeah, I think that she would have gotten so bored with the usual swears because they wouldn't get her attention from adults or anything. There's not anybody there to go, oh, you said that bad word. So I think she would just say things that are like fun to say. And I don't know what that is yet, but I will write it down. Okay. Ooh, one time I played a game of Dread, horror game with Jenga tower. What? I'm gonna need to look that up before I continue, because I have not heard of that. Okay. I filled out a questionnaire for who the character is and decided to be a drunk, reckless ship captain. I got to the name and said, this guy seems like a... God damn it, I just made Jack Sparrow. That's great. I love that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this. Oh. This is so neat. Sorry, I'm just reading the Wikipedia. I'm gonna have to bookmark that and keep that in my brain. Everybody has heard of this game except for me. Okay, so swear words, that's a good question. And it is percolating in the brain. What else? Something else that I've decided about her is she does a lot of talking to herself and a lot of talking to her toys. So she has Pups McGee, the little animatronic puppy. She has some Russian nesting dolls that are, the outside one is the tower, and then the one inside that is her dad, and then the one inside that is her mom, and then the one inside that is her. And so it's just like their whole family in the tower, and it's so sweet, and it breaks my heart to think about. That's gonna be a moment in the story. Oh gosh, so much emotional baggage for Tim. Okay, so she has that, and she talks to the dolls of her parents. She talks to the puppy. She talks to... I don't think that she has like a full-on imaginary friend, because I think that's too much. I think she just has her toys. What else would she have? There was another thing that I was thinking of, but I never wrote it down, and so now I don't remember. There was the puppy, the Russian nesting dolls, and something else. I'll have to think about that. So she does a lot of talking to them, sort of off when she's by herself. And because I'm trying to think, like, just during the sort of everyday, moment to moment action of the the sessions, like what is her vibe gonna be? I think she's gonna be a little bit like oblivious. Because part of that, did I spell that right? Yes. Because part of the, so she has a lower than average wisdom score, and wisdom is sort of like your perception of the world, and how, insightful you are. Both perception and insight are literal wisdom related skills. And so because, I don't think she's, wildly oblivious or anything, but I think she just doesn't, unless she is focused on something, she doesn't really pay it much mind. And so I think that she's probably good at sort of blocking out stuff that's going on around her and just sort of being in her own bubble when she wants to be, which is probably most of the time. I think she's uncomfortable if she doesn't get time by herself, because she's lived by herself for not most of her life, but for the past 10, 12 years. So I think that will be it. I think she's not gonna jump right into things unless it's something that she knows the answer to. Okay, won't jump into conversations unless they're talking about something she knows about. Or if it concerns her, because I think if we're thinking about her characterization and how her childhood is affecting her young adult life, her parents were very much they didn't really tell her things. They didn't tell her a lot of the time where they were going. It's just oh, we're going east, or oh, we're going, across the mountains or whatever. And they did a lot of the not we'll tell you when you're older, not like that, but more oh, the adults are talking, you don't need to be involved in this. A lot of we're gonna stay up and work on this thing, we need to focus, you need to go to bed so that we can, do our own thing down here. And I think that bothered her, and going from that to having full autonomy, living by herself, made her really value independence. And so if somebody is making decisions about her without her input, I think that upsets her. I think that works. Right? I think that makes sense. That sounded boring, so I stopped paying attention. I'm stealing that. I love that. Thank you. Does she get easily into tangents, or does she focus on one subject? Good question. I think tangents. I think that she... If we're going with the racial stereotypes of gnomes, they're very much just jumping from one thing to the next, love, new things and shiny things, and just want to experience everything the world has to offer. And so I think that's kind of that works better with the tangent. Well, maybe not. I don't know. That might be something that comes out in role-playing. Once I've been Tim for a while, I might figure out the answer to that. All right, so we have a voice. We have some traits. what about combat? So she has lived by herself, but this tower, because the way that we're kind of flavoring the tower is that it, so it's like physically in an actual clock tower, but the interior was a, oh, who's the guy? The magic mansion. Magnificent Mansion? Magnificent Mansion. The spell. Mordekainen. That's the guy. Mordekainen's Magnificent Mansion is the thing, the spell, which basically creates like a wizard's tower, but in like limbo space. And the tower has to, like, you have to leave and then come back to, or you have to like cast the spell again every 24 hours. And that was like tied to the clock tower. And that's why when the tower stopped, her house disappeared, because the spell is just not being cast anymore. Though that is a mystery that even I don't know the solution to, or the answer to. That is, I have been informed that there is secret magic stuff happening behind the scenes. Maybe not even magic, I don't know. I assume it's magic, everything's magic. Anyway, so this tower that she was in, it really had everything in it that she needed. And it's not, so if you're looking at the spell, or if you're familiar with the spell, it's not an exact version of it, just because I think it wouldn't be as fun if it were an exact version of it. Like if she had, the servants and stuff in there, I'm flavoring it that she didn't have any of that, that it's a simplified version of it, where it was basically just, the interior and some changes could be made, but not a ton. It's not like she was building a new tower every time. So everything that she needed was provided to her in her house. So she had like a greenhouse, and she had, what else do you need? A place to like fix things and make things, and a library and all that kind of stuff. And so she had all of that provided for her, so she probably didn't have to like hunt for things. But she probably saw things die, and she like knows that death is a thing. But I don't think that she's like violent, like even by necessity. I'm trying to think if she would even like, because she went into the woods a lot. She spent a lot of time in the woods around the tower, just because that's like, when you're cooped up inside, like you need to go outside for your brain. I don't know that she would have been out there and like gotten like attacked by wild animals or anything. I mean, she might have, I guess, but she probably wouldn't be there overnight, because she would need to be back at the clock tower for this spell. I guess she wouldn't have to be back for the spell. I don't know how that works. But I don't think that she would have like spent the night in the woods. Anyway, all of this is to say that I don't know how she's going to be in combat, because if she hasn't done a lot of like violent things, or experienced a lot of violent things, I don't know what she's going to do when she gets into a fight. Like, I don't think she's going to run away. Maybe she would. I don't know. But I also... So, this is one of those moments where I like to defer to Legal Kimchi's video about metagaming, which I actually have a little bit of a cameo in. It's literally just me saying, yeah, but what does this have to do with metagaming? That's it. But it's an interesting video, and he talks about metagaming, which is like player knowledge affecting character decisions. So like if I, Zoe B, know that, you know, this enemy is weak to fire damage or whatever, Tim wouldn't necessarily know that. And so if Tim only used fire magic on it, that would be metagaming. And a lot of people have a lot of strong opinions about metagaming. But in his video, which I can link in the chat actually, because it's really interesting. He talks about how metagaming isn't necessarily always bad, because more things are metagaming than we think. So an example of metagaming that is good, actually, is like when you see, you know, somebody in the dark corner of a tavern and they look sketchy, you know that you need to go over to them, and so you do, because you know that that's what you need to do to forward the plot. And like that's metagaming. Like we know the things that the DM is putting in front of us that are supposed to be like, hey, come look at this. Hey, this might lead you to a quest. Hey, do this thing. And you don't have to, obviously, but you know that that's what's happening. And so you do that because you know that that is what will lead you to fun things. And so the way that this affects what I was talking about with combat is that metagaming, there it is. Oh, and even one of the, when you hover over it, the clip is my face. That's funny. The thing about combat with Tim is that I'm not going to have her run away and like just not do anything. Because even though in reality that might be what she would do, as far as the game itself, and you know, I know that it's a game, I know that it's a streamed game, I know that it's, you know, a performance as much as it is, you know, me just having fun with some friends. I know that she, you know, she might fight in a different way, or she might not want to fight but still does, but she's not just gonna like ditch everybody. And that is metagaming for me to say that. But anyway, all of that to say, I don't know what she's gonna do, but she's not just gonna run away. Okay. Jay says, the nearby forest is under the protection of a friendly orc clan and some elves, so it was likely fairly safe. I did not know that. So, I also forgot to mention this. This campaign is taking place in a little bit altered, little bit homebrewed version of Faerun. So it has like all the major cities and stuff, but like the history and things are a little bit different. So, I don't know if that's canon or if it's just canon in our world, but I was unaware of that. Let's see. She couldn't learn fighting things in the books that she reads, maybe? Like maybe she knows theory but freaks out in the real combat. That's interesting. Yeah, like maybe she's, because in my head she's read a lot of like technical stuff and a lot of fantasy books and not much else. Like she doesn't know a lot about history, even though maybe she should, because she's very smart, and that's one of the intelligence things is history. But she doesn't know a lot about history, but she knows a lot about like fantasy tropes, and she knows a lot about engineering and art. So I wonder if she's seen a lot of like, you know, knights killing dragons in picture books, or, you know, magicians doing whatever magicians do in picture books. But she has never actually done that, and so she doesn't know. So it's like, oh, this is gonna be cool, we're gonna fight him and we'll win. And then suddenly there's blood everywhere, and she's like, holy shit. I don't know what to do with this. This is not what I was expecting. I think that kind of thing might be fun. Let me write that down. Not combat in theory, but the reality is much different. That's one of the things in, like, Game of Thrones that they really tried to do, was, like, hammer home that, like, a lot of the fighting that we see in fantasy is just not, like, actual fights are scary, and, you know, people do get afraid, and you know, it's not good. Very much not good. Ooh, like the kids who read karate books to try to stand up to bullies and are still not successful in standing up to the bullies. Oh. I think what is Tim's opinion on bullies? I think Tim values niceness a lot. I think that's just her personality, because I like playing nice people. I don't like playing mean people. And that was actually, I think this is something that I may have shared on a stream before, but one of my first ever characters, her name was Imogen, and she was an old elf, and she was the sweetest. She was very kind. All she wanted to do was help people. She was a cleric, a light cleric, and she was wonderful. And the party was made up of a shifty little rogue halfling, an edgelord drow ranger, and a dwarf barbarian who ended up being judge, jury, and executioner of a bread thief. And so my sweet old Imogen decided to leave the party after that, and again, metagaming. That was me saying, this character isn't going to be here anymore, and I'll bring in somebody new that fits the party better. And so I just brought in a wonderful nerd boy named Milo, and he was great, and I loved him. Would Tim have known bullies? She certainly would have read about them. Yes. So I think she values fairness and kindness. Ooh, I wonder if I could play up. So all the things that we've been talking about, with her love for imagination, knowing combat in theory but not in reality, valuing fairness and kindness, having read a lot of these, fantasy books, I wonder if I could lean into that and have it be like she expects the world to be like a kid's story. Like, a kid today, like, expecting the world to be like what they saw in their, like, Saturday morning cartoons. I think I might lean into that. Yes, Radovan says, you had both Imogen and Milo in the same campaign. Critical Role is really stealing ideas from you. Trust me, I am aware. They're not actually stealing, let's just put that out there for the record. But when both of those names were used in that first episode, I was like, oh no. Oh no. And so the character that I'm currently playing in my home game, her name is Mirabelle. And she's the sweetest. She's like a bubblegum fairy princess. Like, she is a warlock, and her Eldritch Blast is like pink sparkles. And she's a celestial pact warlock, and her patron is a unicorn. Like, she literally just gets her powers from a unicorn. It's very silly. Like, she has pink hair. It's a whole thing. But I was like, if Critical Role has a character named Mirabelle, like, that's it. I know that they're getting all their ideas from me. And they didn't. But then Encanto came out. And, you know, it's just funny that all three of the names of my most recent characters are now suddenly being used in very popular places. Okay. All right. I think we have good stuff here. I'm feeling a lot better about this. Thank you all for helping me through this stuff. It's just hard to do by yourself. This kind of like talking out loud. Though I think, speaking of just talking to yourself, because I did that a lot as a child. I credit talking to myself a lot alone in my room as a kid with how comfortable I am delivering things, like either when I'm teaching or during my video essays. People are always like, oh, you're so, conversational, or you're a natural at presenting stuff. And I'm like, it's because I talked to myself for hours on end when I was, from the years of 5 to much older than probably I should have been. But there's a thing that started in software engineering, or like coding, where they would have like a rubber duck on their desk. And anytime they got stuck in coding, they would talk to that rubber duck and basically like bounce ideas off of it, like pretending like they were talking to another person. And I do that sometimes, where I talk to myself and think through ideas. I did that like in grad school when I shared an office with the other teachers, because I taught while in grad school, and that's how I paid for grad school. And so the other teachers and I, we shared an office, and sometimes I would just like talk at them to think through ideas, and they like literally would say nothing. And at the end, I would have figured out whatever it was that I was dealing with, and I would be like, thank you so much. Because sometimes you just need to bounce ideas off of something. So I think that maybe she also does that. And maybe she's so used to talking to inanimate objects or imaginary objects that when she talks to people and like explains ideas or talks about, problems or things that she's confused about, maybe she gets surprised or maybe even irritated when people respond. Like she doesn't expect people to respond. When she does that, that might be funny. Oh my gosh, some engineers took LSD when they got stuck in some particular problem, but that's another story. I was unaware of that. As someone who has never partaken in LSD, I can't imagine that it would help. Maybe it would, if it was, I know like microdosing is a thing. But maybe that would help. I don't know. We'd have to ask. There's a Michael Pollock, the food guy. He has a whole series about, and a whole book actually about psychedelics and the human brain and how they're good for you, apparently. The history of science, medicine, and engineering is not a sober one. Good. The thing that's hard about Tim Tam is that I have to balance her being like naive and childlike, but also not her being childish, because she is like a late teen, basically. But I also don't want her to be like, I don't know, I don't want her to be edgy, but I also don't want her to be too straight edge. I'm now just thinking about Tim Tam and drugs, which I don't think that she's ever done drugs. I think maybe she's eaten plants that she shouldn't have. And maybe then she spent a few months studying plants so that she would never do that again, make that accident again. But I don't think that she, like, would judge people for it. I think she just likes... I think maybe the first time that she got drunk, which she hasn't done yet, but I think when she gets drunk at some point during this campaign, because you always go to taverns, she's not going to like it very much, I think. I don't know what the drinking age is, Jay. Is there a drinking age? I don't know how this works. Is that too American of me to assume that there is some sort of drinking age that she doesn't meet? But anyway, I don't think that she's going to like being intoxicated from whatever substance, because her brain won't be quite as sharp. And she likes her brain being sharp, because that's really all she has, is her brain. But on the other hand, you know, there are other substances that can help with, like, imagination and things, and so maybe that's, you know, maybe she trips one day and the next day is able to, you know, create something wild because she had a hallucination of it. So like most of history, it's likely common she would be familiar with wine and mead. It was common to serve watered down alcohols to children. Keeping track of the per species drinking age in fantasy taverns must be a pain. Yeah. Like, oh, you're a gnome. You know, you look like an infant. You're probably fine. Or you're an elf and you look like a baby. You're probably fine. That is funny. So yeah, she probably would, you know, maybe she has gotten drunk. 'Cause what if this tower had a bunch of, you know, barrels or casks of alcohol? And what if one night she was like she did with swear words, where she was like, I want to know what all the fuss is about. I want to do this thing that I have never been allowed to do. And, you know, adults say that, you know, it's great or whatever. And so maybe she did that, like, one night and hated it. And now she's like, no, I'll just have the watered down versions now, please. I think maybe that makes more sense. Because, again, gnomes like to try things and do things, and because they want to experience everything. So she wanted to experience it, and she did, and she didn't like it, so she's not going to do it again. That's what I've decided. Okay. The rules are much looser for mind-altering things, which historically would have been seen as medicine. Her parents definitely partook. Oh, no. I mean... rad, I guess. I'm not here to judge. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other sort of aspects of her personality that I want to get hashed out. Because again, something that I didn't really realize about these kinds of games until I started playing them is you can have a whole character planned out. You can know exactly who they are, you can have the voice, you can have the personality, you know their whole family history. But the moment that you start playing them, the moment that you walk into their skin and puppet it around for a couple hours, they become something entirely different. Like, you're never going to be able to play the character exactly how they are on the page. And like it becomes its own thing once it's being actively acted out. So I know that having this list, it's helpful, it's useful, it gives me a good starting point. But we'll see what actually happens next Friday when it becomes real. Oof. Oh gosh. I'm like suddenly realizing how soon it is. Okay. Snuff was big for so long. Indigenous cultures did things like chew cocoa leaves, brew mezcal, eat mushrooms, and have smoke of various variety. Various variety. I think that's a little redundant. You should be a little bit more concise in your writing. It would be unbelievable that folks would look sideways at some amphetamines. I think Tim should never, ever, ever get her hands on amphetamines. I think that would be the worst thing that could happen to her. She doesn't need fantasy Ritalin. She would be bouncing off the walls. It is real soon. It's real soon. It's in less than a week. Oh, that's so soon. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. It's going to be fun. But like anything, it's just a lot it's a lot. It's a lot. Role-playing games are collaborative storytelling, just like in writing, a character comes out through their actions, and in role-playing, that's going to be affected by the other players too. Yes. Yes, very much. In my home game, Mirabelle is, like I said, she's like a bubblegum princess vibes. So we have a gnome, a forest gnome in our party, and she is wild and likes dirt and like guts and stuff, and she likes, smelling it and whatever, because she's like cataloging, like, we killed this monster, I need to know about it, let me dig through its intestines and whatever. And Mirabelle, who has lived in a city her whole life, was a very like popular like lady in waiting, basically, for the local duke's family. She cares very much about appearances. And that wasn't really something that I like intended to be a main character trait for her. But when I remembered that prestidigitation, which is a very low level, it's a cantrip, which is like a level 0 spell. It's like something you can cast whenever you want. When I remembered that you could clean things with that spell, she became very focused on cleaning things. And so Floxy, the gnome, she would just get all dirty. And Mirabelle, if she got even like the littlest dirt on her dress or, blood in her hair or whatever, she would immediately like clean it. And so now in the party, everybody makes fun of her for that. And they're like, oh, are you sure you want to do this? You might get dirty. And it's like, I didn't mean for that to be who she is. And she's not like a, prissy whatever. Like, she stabs people still. She just likes being put together because appearances were very important when she was growing up, and this job that she's had for a few years, you need to look good, and you need to smell good, and you need to talk good, speak well, for people to take you seriously. And she's sort of internalized that. But now that's just become who she is. come on, Zoe, it's supposed to be funny, not to have anxiety about it. I know. And it's not like anxiety. It's just, I don't know, with any game like that, with any role-playing game, when you're first starting, it's terrifying. Because you're just sort of throwing yourself out there, and, you know, I have a hard enough time getting along with people as myself, let alone as a little gnome girl with a 4 charisma. So that'll be interesting. Will the recordings of the D&D streams be available afterwards? I'd love to watch it, but Friday nights are not ideal for me to watch it. It's afternoon for you, but here it's night. So, that is actually a good question. So I was thinking about trying to simul-stream, but I think that's going to be too hard for me. No, maybe not. I mean, I guess I could just, like, have the window open and record it from OBS, but I don't want to have to worry about that. So I think what I'm going to do is, Jay said that he would have the VOD available to all of us, the players, that we can do whatever we want with them. And so I would like to put it up either here or more likely on my second channel, where all the, like, other extra stuff goes. Yeah, in addition to what Zoe's going to do. Yeah, I'm just planning on uploading the VODs to probably the second channel. So they will be available. I just haven't figured out where yet. But yeah, it's going to be a lot, but it's going to be fun. I have to keep telling myself that, because it will be, and it'll get me over the new game jitters. But I have a cute little character. I am so excited to play Tim. I think Tim is going to be a lot of fun. She's going to be silly. She uses the power of imagination. She just wants to have friends. She is me. She is child Zoe. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, like Jay said, we're very loose with the content. We want folks to watch it where they want. I know some of the, are any of the others simulcasting it? Do you know? Because I think Ron might put it up on his channel, because I know he also has a YouTube channel where he uploads some of the things from his Twitch streams. And I think Ron and Jinx are simul-streaming it. Okay. And I think Mildred mentioned something about it as well. But we'll see. But yeah, it'll be available in lots of places. So don't worry about that. It should be, hopefully, easy to find. If we all do our jobs right, should be easy to find. Star might as well. Jinx wants to crochet and make her mail while playing. That's very cool. Jay, you have such cool friends. I mean, I guess they're my friends now. I have cool friends. Oh, also, real quick, I know I put it in the thumbnail, but I also want to show it off here. So Rose, who I have her Twitter tag in the description, she has made all the character art, except I think for Star's, because I think Star is doing hers herself, because she's also like an artist. Oh, thank you for being here. Have a wonderful evening or afternoon, wherever it is that you are. But she has made character art for all of our characters, and you will see them all when you tune in, if you tune in. But for now, I want to show you mine, because it is so cute. Let me zoom out. So this is Tim. I probably should have showed you the picture while we were doing, like, personality stuff. And now that I'm looking at this some more, I think that Ash Ketchum voice will be perfect for her. I think this is great. But this is Tim. She is the cutest. Look at this face. Look at how cute she is. I love her so much. I want to show this off. And she has her painting supplies, because painting is her like way of sort of turning things magic. Such a mischievous smirk. She should be a prankster. I think she's gonna be. I think with some of the skills that she has, one of the things she can do is basically create like a stink bomb. I think she's gonna be doing that quite a bit. I think if she could make monsters die of embarrassment from pranking them, she will do that. That will be her preferred method of defeating enemy combatants. Oh no, the weird kind of prank where everyone else is like, how is that supposed to be a prank? She's not gonna be like YouTube garbage people. Ooh, Thor says that's I'm gonna make trouble face if I've ever seen one. I guess that would be psychic damage, dying of embarrassment. That's so good. Yeah. So yeah, she is gonna be a lot of fun. Playing her is gonna be a challenge, as it always is. As playing new characters is always hard to get into their headspace and make it work in a way that's entertaining and realistic and fulfilling and all those things. But I think it's going to be good. I'm excited. Oh, not the direction I was thinking. More like, hi, your water skin is filled with candy. I fooled you. I see. Yes. Yeah, so things that are more like absurd rather than like, you know, some of the things that other people do on this platform. But yes, I like that. I like that direction. I'm gonna have to think of some good pranks. And I think that she probably... Sorry, I hope you cannot hear my dog barking downstairs. I think the mail person had the audacity to bring us our mail. Is she finished? Okay. I'm gonna have to think of some good pranks and things and like little... Because I know one of her... Let's look over here. So she has magical tinkering. Imbue a tiny non-magical object with the magical property of your choice. A 5-foot radius of light up to 6 seconds of a recorded message, emitting an odor or non-verbal sound. So like sounds that aren't words. Ah. Go away. A static visual effect. So it can have words on it, like written on it. Including up to 25 words of written text. So I'm thinking, like, what if she just makes a rock that smells like shit and tosses it into a crowd? You know? That's fun. That's great. I'm into that. Or, you know, like the sound of somebody screaming, or, you know, a rock that looks like a gold to get people distracted. I don't know. I'll have Zoe, like actual Zoe, will have to think about that and think of some good pranks. But that is definitely something that I can work with. Because she also has, it's not a spell, it's a, where is it? Features and traits. So she also has So it's magical tinkering, but also artificer's lore from being a gnome. So, or not artificer's lore, tinker. You're proficient with tinker's tools and can use them to construct tiny clockwork devices. And those tiny clockwork devices can be... So that's what her puppy is. Her little dog is a tiny clockwork device. But she also has the ability to make other clockwork toys that can move in directions, a fire starter, and also a music box. Oh, a music box! That was the other thing. She has the puppy, the Russian nesting dolls, which are not a tinker thing, they're just made out of wood, and a music box. I think that it's maybe not a music box that she has made because you have to, like, mess with it every single day in order to make sure that it doesn't break. So I think maybe it's just something that she got, like, you know, handed down from her parents or whatever. But she does have a music box as well. So, yes, a goat scream. That's good. So the reason why I love role-playing games, especially role-playing games that have magic systems, is because I like being able to just imagine something and have it be a thing. That's why I like playing magic users in these kinds of games, is because if you can imagine it, like if you can say, I want to have a picture of a goose over here, or like I want to create an image of a boar running past this group of people, like you can just do it. Whatever you want, you can just make it happen. As long as it's not like game breaking. But I like the creativity of it and the fact that you can, through, you know, lateral thinking and thinking outside the box and stuff like that, you can solve any problem with creativity and ingenuity. And so that's what I'm most excited for with playing an artificer, because their whole thing is they like invent stuff. They like make, you know, tools and things like that to solve their problems. And that's part of why her thing is like the power of imagination is how she casts spells, because she's just imaginative and uses that to fuel her creations. And because of that, the sky's the limit, and I can just make anything. And that's cool. And I'm so excited to see how far I can make that go and how much cool stuff we can do with that. Ooh, not a tinkering prank, but she could graffiti some swear words. But she uses her own swear words so no one else knows that it's swear words. That's hilarious. And I feel like that works so perfectly with her character, because like it works with the like assuming that other people know things that she does when they don't. The like social obliviousness. It's perfect. That is such a good idea. I love that. That's so good. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with her. I'm so excited about this. All right. Ooh, that graffiti is exactly the kind of prank I was talking about where everyone else is just really confused. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think of some more of those. But these ideas, I'm actually gonna write them down. Because if I have a note card with them on it, then I'll have it in front of me while I'm playing. All right. Someone walks down an alley, is confronted with a 3-foot tall graffiti that says, "Your soldering work is inferior. Your machines are inefficient." Ha! Got 'em. So, something that I've talked about before is that my husband is an engineer. And he is a mega nerd. He's just poor man. I think I'm gonna have to ask him some good, like, engineering insults, like things that he would say to his coworkers about their work, because I think that might be the kinds of things that Tim does or says. Okay. All right. Well, it is what, 3:37. I bet your gear work isn't even with a 0.1 millimeter tolerance. Is this an engineering thing that I feel like it's worse when, like, I don't even understand the joke that I'm making or the insult. Your heat transfer is inefficient. No, yeah. Okay. Insults. I will, that will be my homework, is coming up with insults and pranks. And practicing the voice. So, I think we have done some good work with Tim. So now the question is, would you all like to hang out for an extra 20 minutes? Or end it there? Because I can play a game. We can just hang out and chat. This is, just to give you a little peek behind the curtain, this is what would happen whenever class ended early when I was teaching. Is usually I would say, you know, okay, we can either hang out here and you can, you know, get a head start on your essays or whatever, and like you stay here and ask me questions, or if you want, you can leave. And usually most students just left, which is totally fair. I would also do that. I did that when I was a college student. But there were some students who stayed around because they wanted to work, and that's great. Because there are some students that are, you know, do things that aren't necessarily in their best interest, and then there are the students that like to stay after class when they could go home early. But I will leave it up to you all about what you would prefer to do. Because I'm fine hanging out. I'm fine ending it there. I'm putting the hair up. That's how we know that the silly time is over. The hair is going up. You know what? Let me actually... There we go. There I am. Okay. So now I can close out of these things. If you keep streaming, I'll stick around. Oh, that means I have to stream forever. Unending stream. Let's see. What am I calling this document of? Tim's characteristics is what it will be called. Okay. Well, then if we're going to hang out for a little bit longer, then what I'm going to do is be a little bit selfish and play some games that I just want to play. We're going to play Slay the Spire is what we're going to play. Because I have been spending way too much of my time on that game over the past few days. Oh, Connor says, I better make dinner, but thanks for the stream. Thank you for being here. It was wonderful to have you here. All right, I will play one game of Slay the Spire I promise it will just be one and not more than one. I have to make that promise publicly to all of you or it won't happen. And then we can disperse. How does that sound? All right. I am going to put headphones back on though. Jay's got to head out. Thanks for being here, Jay. Thanks for answering all of the questions that I had. I am very excited to see you again on Friday. Okay. Why is the game not showing up? All right. Let's. Oh, did it work? Was that just, no, okay. Let us go into studio mode. So I can go over here. Oh, it's because because I am making a mistake. Okay. Because I had it playing Dwarf Romantic instead of Slay the Spire. That is never gonna work. Okay. There we go. All right. We've achieved or reached the mess with OBS phase of the stream. Yes. Listen, I'm still learning. You know what? What if... No, this is probably a fine location. No, it has my energy there. I don't know where to put my face. Where do you want my face? I could just make it really little. Do we care about that? What about like in the middle here? Yeah? Okay. Sure, that's fine. I guess we'll see. Okay. So I've been playing mostly this second one. I forget what it's called. Because my strat for this one is poison. Focus on the poison. The silent is what it is. Because you can poison people and then that's it. Like you're good. Okay. I pressed play. All right, what if I do game capture instead of... Ah, there we go. Okay. All right. I think I could count the number of streams I've done where everything worked perfectly on one hand. Yeah. Oh, but now my face is gone. Okay. I'm a professional, everybody. There we go. I'm back. We're good. It's fine. Okay. Okie doke. So, let's see. Now, I don't really care about this power. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with this game, it is a deck building card game where you are doing combat, but your moves are the cards that you have in your hand. And you have a certain amount of energy, and each card takes a certain amount of energy, so you can only play so many cards in a round. What else is there to say? You also are given relics. You can get relics, which are these things up here. Each character starts with a different relic. And this is, I can draw 2 additional cards at the beginning of every turn. Which is fine, like it's okay, but there are other relics that are just so helpful and great. that I think that I might not care about this one. So I think I'm gonna lose my starting relic and obtain a random boss relic. And hopefully get something cool. Oh! Upon pickup, transform 3 cards and then upgrade them. So I just get 3 cards. Okay. I'm just gonna upgrade all of my... Okay. And so this is how the map works. And so this is a, like, procedurally generated map. All of these faces here are regular enemies. Oh, I guess you have a legend over here. So yeah, regular enemy. And then these are unknown. It can either be, like, you get a relic, or you get money, or you get a curse, but you also get 100 gold. It can also be a fight. It can also be the merchant. It's a mystery. These guys with the horns are elites. They're like super dangerous enemies, but you get relics from them. These are campfires where you can either rest or upgrade cards. And then this bag of money is the merchant, where you can buy some cool stuff. And also treasure. And then the boss up here. Okay. I like focusing on question marks because my strat is getting a bunch of relics. That's what I like to do. Okay. So these are all of my things, and you see these are upgraded because they have the little plus. And these guys are going to attack me for this much damage. At the next turn, it like telegraphs what their attacks are going to be. Okay. So I only have 3 energy, but I have a lot of stuff I can do. Let's just get that guy out of the way. Okay. And then 16 damage. That's pretty good. Now, I can only defend for 5, which means when he does 8 damage to me, it's going to take that 5 down. And then actually do 3 more, like, hit points worth of damage. I have been slimed. Okay. I think I'm just gonna go all out on attacking him. Well, I can't actually kill him this round, because 3 damage, 6 damage, 6 damage. Oh no, I can. Perfect. And he is dead, and I get gold and a card. Poison. Poison is the strat. Okay. I don't think there's any downside to using that card. Like, I'm just doing so well. So here, they're going to use a buff, and they're not going to attack me, so I'm not going to worry about defending, because they're not actually attacking me. I have to get rid of card. Beautiful. Swept it. I like this one because at the end of every turn, your like shield that you put up, your block, disappears at the end of a turn. So if you don't use it, it's gone. But this makes it last an extra turn, which is nice. Okay, question marks. You come up on... Oh, usually this is a, like, card matching minigame. I've never done the wheel one before. Oh, I'm terrified. What are these? Okay. Treasure. A gift. I got a relic. Oh, Molten Egg is great. So anytime you get a new card that is an attacking card, it automatically upgrades. That is pretty nice to get this early on in the game. Alright, I don't have a ton of gold. So you could buy relics, or you could buy potions that are like one-use things. There's no poison cards. That's disappointing. But if I buy an attack card, I immediately get to upgrade it. Oh, these are already upgraded. That's fine. So do I want to do this one or this one? I think that one. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna save my money. Alright, let's transform. Strike. Ooh. What did that turn into? Glass knife. Deal 12 damage twice, and then decrease the damage of this card by 2 this combat. That's nice. Alright, we're looking pretty good. I don't need to rest, so I'm going to upgrade a card. I'm gonna upgrade the Poison Stab. Poison is so great in this game. Alright. I think we have a pretty good deck, and I'm at pretty high health. So I think we're gonna take on the Elite to get another relic. Ooh, okay. Okay, if I... So that's 10 damage. And another 12. And I get to draw another card. Yeah, let's just do this guy. Because I'm not going to be able to kill this middle one in a single turn, so I'm just going to not worry about it. Let's discard that. And I drew Glass Knife that. Oh, I really should block. Okay. So these are pretty much like harmless cards that they're just putting in my stack, but it just means that when I draw cards, I could draw useless things. Now, this, because these enemies have Artifact, which negates 1 debuff, that basically means that if I try to poison them, it makes it not work the first time. So, less than ideal. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I don't know that that was the best thing to do, but it's fine. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, and then next time we can poison them. I should have done it against the other one, because the other one, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's fine. So your cards keep getting put in the discard pile, and then when your draw pile is empty, it like recycles them. So you never like run out of cards, but I have 3 useless ones here, so that's great. Oh, and exhaust means that instead of discarding it, it disappears for the rest of the combat. This sucks. wasn't given very much great stuff at that point, so. Alright. Alright, 30 gold. I get Darkstone Periapt. Whenever you get a curse, increase your max HP by 6. That is nice to have. Deal 16 damage. If you've discarded a card this turn, gain 2 energy. Yeah. All right. Alright, so weak is a debuff that you can give to people, and it means that their attacks go down. So now he's only going to attack me for 4, which means that my block that I put up will protect against all of it. So that's good. I guess it doesn't really matter. I can just, because he's just gonna. Alright. I just get an artifact, but is that like permanent? No. Okay. Oh, that artifact. Sorry. I was relics and artifacts are not the same. Alright, 6 damage for each skill. Man, getting this molten egg this early is I think going to be a game changer here, because that means that every attack card that I get is like the more powerful version of it. The start of boss combats heal 25 HP. Don't mind if I do. Alright, so I can go up this way and not have to do any more fights. Or I could go up this way and get the elite to get another relic. But you can also get relics from the question marks. Yeah, I'm just gonna go the safe route. Okay, let's poison you. Do that to you. And defend. I'm gonna take some damage, but that's okay. Now, the good thing about poison, and the reason why I think that it's OP, maybe not overpowered, but the reason why it's so great, is because it stacks. So if I poisoned him like 10 times, that would be 10 poison, and then the next round it would be 9 poison, and then the next round it would be 8 poison, and it stacks, so you can, it's just so strong, and I love it so much. Okay. Let's... Do I have enough that I could just kill him? 23 and 12, yeah. But then I wouldn't be able to block against that 8. So I might focus on blocking right now. Discard that. And yeah, that's all that I can do. I'm still gonna get 10 damage, which is more than I was hoping, but... Jameson Huddle says, "Hey Zoe, how's the stream going?" It is going well. Thanks for popping in. We have exhausted our Dungeons and Dragons talk, and so now we're just playing Slay the Spire until I die. That was our we decided as a group that they didn't want to leave. So I was like, okay, well, instead of just ending the stream now, I'll do one playthrough of Slay the Spire, and then that'll be that. So that is what we were doing here. All right. Yeah, this is, I'm not doing super great. That's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. I'm just gonna have to rest at those 2 campfires and we'll be okay. That's pretty good. Okay. Question mark. Of course, question marks could also be battles, so that's less than ideal. Also, the cat is on the couch behind me and he's just woken up. Okay. $12 damage. 12 damage. 9 damage twice. So, I could... kill 2 enemies and only take 3 damage, or I could kill 1 enemy and defend and take 3 damage. Yeah, let's... Okay. That's fine. It's fine. Okay. Whoops. Alright, now we're gonna rest, because I need the HP. Okay. I think I need to focus on maintaining my hit points. Poison. I'm telling you, poison is the best strat. Come across a dead adventurer. His pants have been stolen. Also, he looks to have been eviscerated and chopped by giant claws. His possessions are still intact. You're in no mind to find out what happened here. I can fight a monster? Sure. Oh, it's a strong monster. Okay. So now this has made it so whenever I block, I do less, like I block less, and whenever I attack less. So that's not great, but it's okay. Gain 30 block. Yes. That's fine. Because I want to... I want to be protected. But... oh, I should have done that one first. And that's why you look at all your cards, friends. Listen, it's because I'm streaming. Nobody plays the best games of their life when they're streaming. Okay. Chat is holding you hostage. It's okay. No, I want to play this game. I've been playing this game in like all of my free time. Alright, Paper Crane. Enemies with weak now deal 40% less damage rather than 25%. That's nice. Okie doke. Fire. So I heal 25, which puts me at 67, which I think is fine. So what I'm going to do is smith my poison to increase it to 7. And then we're going to fight the boss. Okay. All right. Well, I don't have a lot. To help with block. Every time you play 5 cards in a single turn. Alright, so that will help me. This will help me as well. This turn, your next skill is played twice. I don't have any skills, so that's not really helpful. Okay. So I can do 20 damage, or I can do 26 damage. That's what I want. And I'm actually not going to... oh, yes, I am, because when he's in this form, next turn he will have thorns. So anytime I attack him, I also take damage. As you can see here with Sharp Hide. Whenever you play an attack, take 3 damage. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to... this might be worth it to do 16 damage, though. Okay. Except speedrunners, they always play best run streaming. It's so impressive to me. My husband watches a lot of Dark Viper AU, who is a Grand Theft Auto speedrunner. And, like, he streams everything he does, and it's like, I don't know how you can be good at a game while you're streaming. It's wild. Okay. Gain 1 artifact. Sure. I mean, he's not gonna... that's... okay. Alright. 12 damage twice. So he's gonna do 16 damage to me. Alright. Next skill is done twice, so 5 block will turn into 10 block. And now I have no choice but to do the glass knife. Okay. I'm gonna have a lot of health taken down, but that's okay. Are you still poisoned? Yes. Alright. Dagger throw or block? Let's block. Okay. Let's do that. I don't know how long it's gonna take to kill this guy, but if it's 3 turns, then he'll take a lot of damage, so that's good. Alright. That's nice, but not worth it, I think. Chrysalis. Awesome. Okay. This is not going great. Yeah, okay. Now it's going better than I thought. Bam. And now we have beaten this room floor. I don't remember what they're called. Okay. Now we get a relic. Gain energy at the start of your turn, but you can no longer see enemy intent. Gain energy at the start of your turn, but future card rewards have 2 fewer cards. Gain... you can no longer gain gold. I don't want any of these, actually. I think they would be a detriment, to be totally honest. Because enemy intent is important for strategy, and getting cards is important, especially because I have this molten egg. And gold is important because of buying things. Yeah, I'm just not gonna take any of those. Alright, Act 2. Now I've never... Have I beaten Act 2 before? I think maybe. But I haven't gotten much farther than that. Alright, I think we're gonna go up this way. Because I like the question marks, and then the merchant where I can spend some of this gold. Now, poison is great for these guys because poison damage ignores the block that they have. So it just straight up does damage to them, which is great. Because regular damage just takes that down and it's frustrating, but... Oh, artifact. I forgot about that. Well, that's fine. We can just defend until then. This is not going great. He's gonna do 20 or 17 damage to me, and that's nothing I can do. It's fine. It'll be fine. Okay. Do I want to keep any of these? None of them do poison. Or give me block, yeah. Well, that's not ideal. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I just have to keep telling myself that. Okay. Gain, yeah, let's gain 3 block. This fight is going more poorly than anticipated. It's okay. Here we go. All right. As you make your way through the large buildings, you come across a long, narrow bridge and spot knights on either side facing one another. You approach. Halt! A knight forcefully gestures for you to stop with its giant lance. Today is the day I must settle the score with the murderer of my beloved pet Noodles. Until then, you may not pass. Fellow witness, why don't you bet on who you think will emerge victorious? I do have lots of gold. I don't think that I need 250 more. I think that's a better... I lost the bet. 70% odds weren't good enough, I guess. Okay. Alright, let's see. Whenever you enter shop heal 15, that's nice. The effects of your cost X cards are increased by 2. I don't know that I have enough of those to make that worth it. Alright. I think I'm gonna get this. Shoot. And this. And that's it. Okay. Let's just take all the damage. Let's just not care about our hit points, I guess. Alright, let's get more energy next time. And I think I'm just gonna let the poison kind of do its thing, I think, as well. All right. We're looking pretty good. Okay. Yeah, so next time, if I don't kill him, the poison probably will. Definitely will. So I can just end my turn early because poison happens first. And there it goes. Okie doke. Ah, on sale. Oh well, that's disappointing, but it's fine. I'm gonna heal a little bit, I think. Snecko! What a cutie. Oh no, confusion randomizes the cost of things, which is not ideal, but it's okay. Poison is just so great. Like, I cannot get over how wonderful it is. Alright, so next turn the poison will get it. There we go. Alright, what do I upgrade? That's what I want. Ooh, upon pickup, upgrade 2 random attacks. Beautiful. Awesome. You'll love to see it. While sneaking past a group of shrouded figures, one of them approaches you. Got anything for me, friend? Please, maybe some coin? I just need to get somewhere to stay. I have treasures I can trade. He seems delusional, but harmless. Well, I don't have enough money to pay him. So I'm going to obtain a relic but become cursed. And whenever you obtain a curse, increase your max HP by 6. And I got an oddly smooth stone. Start each combat with 1 dexterity. Awesome. Healing. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen this enemy before. Ouch. This is not going well. 8 damage. Not much I can do. All right. It's going great, guys. It's just awesome. Wonderful. I have never seen this. It's a book of stabbing. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I want one of these in real life. Alright, so 12. poison stab. Yeah. I'm just gonna straight up just get 12 damage. Awesome. Okay. Poison. Ouch. Shivs are so nice. It's just like, just do a bunch of damage for free. And if you leave them in your hand, they just go back into the draw pile, which is nice. I don't like the animation there. It feels a little too, like... I don't know, visceral. Ooh, preserved insect. Enemies in elite combats have 25% less HP. That's nice. Alright, let's heal up and then get ready for boss combat time. Okay. So it protects against poison, that's fine. Alright, what you gonna do? Minions, cool. Alright, let us do damage to everybody, I guess. Okay. 12 damage twice. And another 12 damage, and that would get rid of that guy. I mean, it doesn't matter what I discard because I don't have any energy left. Alright. Now we can poison him. And hopefully, once we run out of cards and get our other ones back, we can poison him some more. And then it'll be great. All right. Oh, yes. All right, let's just keep doing damage to him. And like, I don't even have to worry about the block that he has, because I just poison him and it's fine and I don't have to worry about it. Oh, 51. That's quite a bit of that's a lot. I mean, I'll be fine, but only barely. Yikes. Okay. Okay. Alright. We got him down to half health. That's something. Alright, that's gonna do 26 damage. So I'm gonna need to defend. I'm like only just surviving this. I don't know that I'm gonna win this. Oh. Yeah, let's keep poisoning. Deal 16 damage if you discard a card this turn. Alright, so this means that I'll keep this block next time. So when I need to defend next time, I will have a head start on that, which is nice. Yeah, like this is gonna that's gonna save me. Poison, make him weak. Oh, that didn't really fix things, did it? I mean, not much I can do. This is... I've done what I can. Oh, this is so scary. Alright. Okay, this should be it. This should be a win. Snecko oil. Draw 5 cards, randomize the cost of cards in your hand. That seems useful. At the start of your turn, draw 1. Whenever an attack deals unblocked damage, apply 1 poison. Oh, this one's even better. That's... Okay. Elites drop an additional relic. Gain energy, but you can no longer smith. Upon pickup, obtain 1 potion, gain 50 gold, raise your max HP by 5, obtain 1 card, and upgrade a random card. I don't know. I think the extra relic might be the way to go. Because I think that relics and poison, that's my strat. Okay. Oh gosh. Well, if elites drop extra, this is my first elite up here? Gosh, okay. I do not see this going well for me. There's just not much I can do. Yeah, I don't... Okay. Nope. Because I don't want to kill that first one immediately, because they have this thing where if other enemies are still alive, it revives in 2 turns. And I don't want to have to deal with that. So I think it makes sense to try and get them all kind of at once. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Alright, the poison can get him. win this after all. Oh, I might die here. Nope, I'm not gonna. Skin of my teeth. And I don't think I'm gonna survive the next round of combat, but that's okay. Oh, okay. I'm not doing combat. That's good. I don't have any HP to lose. Oh gosh. Oh, another wheel spin. Wonderful. I could just straight up... I don't actually know if I could die here, but... Heal to full health. That is like literally the best possible thing that could have happened here. Oh my gosh. Add 5 cards to my deck? Yeah, okay. Oh, this is so nerve-wracking. Alright, let's kill you. And then... Because this is like one of the okay. There's just he just does so much damage. That, like, I'm so afraid. I'm just gonna hide. I don't want to do any of these things. All right. Now just one more, and then he's good to go. Is this still going on? It is. I've lived much longer than I intended. Because we did D&D, and now we're playing Slay the Spire, and I'm actually doing very, very well. It's a little wild how well I'm doing, actually. Oh, let's get rid of that, take that. Poison Stab, because poison is the best strat to use here. Okay, Smith. Okay, let us... So I get... I don't know what that would do. Oh, I start with this, so I always have a shiv. Yeah. Because shivs are free. Alright. Well, I think this might be where it all ends. For us, friends. I think this might be the end of the road. Because this is so nerve-wracking. Okay, alright. Poison, that's good. We can defend a little bit. That's better than not defending any. And then we're good. Alright. Poison stab. Oh, and now I'm just gonna take 9 unblocked damage. Great. Cool, 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 cool. This is going very well. Spaghetti monster. I would say so, but it is not flying. It is just kind of here. It is the walking spaghetti monster, perhaps. This is the best I can do. I just have to keep poisoning it. I don't know what else. Friends, we are so close. Oh. Not if I make silly mistakes like that. This is like a terrifying position to be in. Oh gosh, these guys again. This fight almost went very poorly last time. No, this is not gonna go well. I don't... Next card is played twice. Okay. I don't know that that was a good idea. Because... I'm just so afraid. Alright, I'm just using all of my cards. And all of my potions and all of everything. Because I just want to survive this. Which I do not think I'm going to. Choose a card. Next turn, add 3 copies of that card to your hand. No, because this guy's... Yeah, shit. See, this is something that I've said before, and I will continue to say... oh, there's too many cards here. Is that I really enjoy video games, but I am not good at video games. In fact, I am... Shit. Quite bad at video games. But you know, I have fun, and that's what matters. Having fun is the most important thing. Even if you would have more fun if you won and were good at video games. Okay, treasure. At the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Nice. Because this might be another healing. Or it could be a very bad. So you're trying to upgrade a random card in your hand for the rest of combat. No, I'm just going to upgrade a card in my deck. I'm just so afraid of everything. Okay, alright, 7 poison. That's fine. This is not going to go well. Nah. Okay. Nope. Most people who study games aren't good at them. I don't, like, there's nothing I can do. I'm dead here. I don't have any potions. They're gonna do more damage than what I can handle. My only hope is that I deal... No. Yep. Nope. It's been good. We had a good run. We had a very good run, actually. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Okay, stab me. Let's get this over with. It was a very good run. We did very well. I think we should be very proud of this run. Look at that. Almost got to a new unlock. All right, folks. So let us, there we go. Oh, I look like I have been stressed playing video games. Anyway, thank you all for coming here and dealing with the chaos that is all of the things that I do. But I appreciate all of the help with my D&D character and with the moral support with being very bad at this video game. But I hope that you all had fun. And remember, next Friday is when we will be starting the campaign. So be sure to stop on by. All of the information for that is in the description here. And this VOD will be available in the public live streams playlist if you want to watch it back for whatever reason. But thank you all for being here, and until next time, stay safe, stay warm, especially with these ice storms that we've been having, and I will see y'all again soon, I hope. Bye, folks.